Hello, welcome to the Geeks Garage. I took it out of the envelope, but I haven't even unwrapped this, not even looked at it. Right, bought it off eBay, Nintendo Switch, just to see, can we repair tighten it. Wow, that looks pretty. Wow, that's very tidy. That's very tidy. Look at that. How tidy that is. Let's have a little look and see if we can find out what the fault is, see if we can fix it. It says on the description, I can get it up for you and I'll read it because I can't actually totally remember. But yeah, I'm very happy with how tidy it is. Very happy. Gotta be fairly new, that, or it's been opened. It's got one of the screws on the bottom is wrong. It's one of the black ones from the inside, so it's been opened. But yeah, it's very clean. Purchases. Right, I paid £112 for it plus £10 delivery, so £122 all in. No, that's a lie. I paid £7.28 delivery, so it was £119.28 all in. The description about it. Get my gigs on. The console just stopped charging. Not sure what's wrong with it. Otherwise, has not been dropped. No water damage. Sold as seen for parts only and spares only. Parts only and spares only. Should say spares or repairs, really. Parts only or spares only. That means it can't be fixed. Right, let's have a little look at it together, and it is clean. It is very clean. Obviously, pushing the power button, I'm getting nothing. A little look at the charging port. Absolutely spotless. I can see flux residue at the bottom of the charging port. I would suggest that somebody's already tried to change this charging port. Let's see if you can have a little look in that charging port as well. Sometimes I struggle to get the focus bang on. Okay, then let's turn the light down so I don't get so much glare for you. Right, look at that. That is spotless. But you can see at the metal strip on this side, that's flux that you can see down there. But it is spotless. And you see the two screws? See how that one's different to that one? Yeah, one's from the inside off the actual board, and the other one's off the shell. So it's been opened, definitely. But let us open it and see what we find. Okay. But I'm happy with how clean it is. You know, if I can't fix it for whatever reason, I can use the board for spares, and this casing and shell I'll a working board in it because it's absolutely spotless. It's like brand new. So we'll try and keep it this way. Any scratches or marks? I mean, it may have been polished, but yeah, may have been polished to look better. You can see some marks there where it goes in the dock, but it is very clean. If it has been polished, then I'll be pretty gutted, because that means it's been sold by somebody that buys to repair and hasn't been able to repair, which means my chances of repairing are reduced. And also I'll be looking in here and finding things that they've attempted to work with. You much prefer to get a switch that hasn't had any repair attempt. You know, you're working with a fresh canvas then, with a genuine fault, where if somebody else has already worked on it, you don't really know what's been done, especially if they've cleaned it and done whatever they've done, you know, well, and hid it well. Which, looking at it, if it has been opened, I mean, that screw could have fell out and they could have just put a different one in. We don't know. But normally these screws at the bottom are very, very easily round, you know, they round off very easily. So, but these are in, they're tight, because they only go into plastic. If you over tighten it, it's been round off. There you go. That one's sticking. It shouldn't stick. So that's the one that's, I think, is from the inside. So they've let themselves down a little bit there. And what I'll do is I'll put that to one side, and then we'll find the one in here that doesn't stick, and we'll put it in the right place. So they've let themselves down slightly here. Like I say, it may have just fell out and they've put one back in, but I doubt it. I think it's been in for a repair. It's either been in for a repair, or somebody has sold it because they can't repair it, knowing full well that they can't repair it, and have told the little porky on the I mean, right, first impression of opening it up. The dust here, it's got a finger mark there. I don't know if you can see that. It's been opened. It's got a fingerprint, so it's definitely been opened. Okay, might have been owned by a shop. On the underneath here, this case is as clean as a whistle. They haven't cleaned this, right? So they've tried to hide the fact that they've opened it, hence why the dust is there. This side's been cleaned, or it's been rubbed off. There's a fingerprint on the fan, but there's no fingerprints on any of the casing. But there's a fingerprint and what looks like either a little bit of flux or a bit of the thermal paste is there. So let's see what else we find. I mean, so far, you know, it is immaculate. But it clearly says no water damage, and it clearly says they don't know what's the matter with it. So far they've not lied, have they, from what I can see. You know, they could have sent it for repair, they just haven't said that. But they still don't know what's the matter with it, because it's not been fixed. And he says it's not switching on. I've attempted to switch it on, but I haven't plugged anything into it yet. That was a nice tight fit, you know. There you go. Marks on the inside here. They shouldn't be there. Fingerprint and smudge here. So yeah, it's been opened. There you go. There's the screw that's in the wrong place, that one down here. So the board has been out. They have had the board out. Oh, there we go. You see that there? So that's been taken off. Yeah, they've had it out. So it's had a repair attempt. It's had the repair attempt of some kind. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put a good battery on it and try and turn it on, okay? Obviously, I would assume somebody's already done that, but I need to do it because that's the route, that's what needs to be done. I say that's what needs to be done. Where's my battery? Where's my good battery? Where is my good battery? Oh, got it. There's a switch on top of it. Okay. Put a good known battery in it that's got some charge in it. Okay. Try and turn it on. Get a Nintendo sign. Get the switch sign. Just come on. Holy, what? We've got touch. We've got games. We've got sound. Oh. That's a game. That needs a card. That needs a card. That needs a card. That's a game. That needs a card. That needs a card. Right, we've got we've got 3 games. Was that 3 games? Two games. 2 downloaded games. And a working switch. Wow. Can't really get better than that, can you? Let's plug a charger in. Might not be charging. But whatever is a matter with it at this stage, 100% it can be fixed. Even if it's not charging now, I'll put a new charging IC in it, or power management, whichever way it is, and it'll be fixed. Nice little buy. Very, very clean. I feel sorry for the person that's sold it. Not working. They've obviously had it somewhere, or they've opened it and had a quick look themselves, but can you see this? Looking at this one in the corner here, that's what ampage it'll be pulling. Okay, we plug it in. It's charging. It's pulling 0.84 amps. It's a little low. Should be pulling over 1 amp. But it should be pulling over 1 amp. Okay, oh, there we go. 0.99. 0.99. It would normally pull 1.02, but 0.99, I'm happy with that. That's a fast charge. Okay, oh, just went to 1.2 then. Turn it around, put it back in this way. Charging 0.99. Got a little wiggle. Yeah, 1.05 amps, and it's got nothing to do with the wiggle. It's just took a second to go up to that. 1.08, 1.05. We've got a working switch. What on earth? Turn it back round, plug it back in. 1.02. We've got a working switch. Right, what I'll do, sometimes you'll get a switch that will charge off the 5 volt charger, but it won't charge off this one, which is a genuine Nintendo one, giving you 15 volts sometimes. Okay, plug that in there. Not charging. Right, okay, it's not charging on the genuine Nintendo charger, but it's charging on a 5 volt USB. Right, so it does need a board repair. It needs a power management chip, which I think it's power management chip. It needs M92. Okay, let's pop that battery out. I don't think there's going to be anything the matter with this battery. Like, in fact, let's put this battery in, yeah, and plug our 5 volt charger and see if we get a charging sign. Might take a little second or two because it might be flat. Okay, 0.32. Yeah, so the battery is totally dead. It'll take a while. If I left this in all night, this would charge. Right, so that battery will work for me again. Now pop this off. Okay, now we'll put it on the overhead, we'll put it on the scope cam with this chip here, which is your M92. I'm sure it's power management IC. It decides where all the power goes. That chip is going to be at fault, and we'll have a short somewhere around it. Okay, let's have a little look at this together. See, it's got liquid on it. You see that? Has that already been changed? Let me take my glasses off. So. Oh yeah, that's already been changed. It's got flux all over it. Right, I don't know if you can see. Let me turn the light down, help you see. Right, this is really pain. If I get my torch off my phone and put this on the side, yeah, come in from the side, can you see the flux? No, you just really can't, can you? Let's have a little look there. Basically the flux, there's flux all over it. You can't really see. The camera isn't the best. I can only apologise for that. But basically, if I put it up, you can see better there. It's got flux all up to here. You can see it coming down this side, and the flux comes all the way down to here. See where it's shiny, and then we go dull. Yeah. So it's had a repair. They haven't touched this one. It's had the repair, or a repair attempt. Don't know what they've done. This is why, you know, it's not nice when somebody else has been in. But whoever's been in has done a very clean job. They just haven't done a very good job. So you can see the flux on that, the marks I'm leaving behind. Right. If I put my multimeter on, put it in continuity mode. Okay, now we either have a situation here where they've changed that, which I don't think they have, you know. I think all they've done is reflowed it. I don't think they've changed that. It looks very original to me. I think all they've done with that is try to do a reflow. Now, if we have a shorted cap, which I suspect this one here, sorry, I'm trying to get, I can see more than yous, so I keep forgetting and have to have a quick look at the computer to see what you can see. This cap here, I believe might be shorting out. Yeah, so that's shorted. That's not, that's not, that's not. Just this one. That needs pulled off and changed. All they've done there is try to reflow it, but the chip itself is gone. So that wants pulling off and changed. Okay, so let's do it together and we'll put it all back together, and I think we will have quite a nice switch there at a very, very reasonable price. Let's take it apart. I mean, this doesn't have to come off, but I do like to. I like to take it off when I'm applying heat on the board. Okay. There'll be people out there saying, oh, you don't need to do that, you don't need to do that. We all work different. We all have our own little way of doing things. Just like I knew that that screw instantly was in the wrong place. Okay. Because the screws from the outside of the case and from the shield go there, everything from the inside comes here, and that's how I know. And same as way I take this screw out here now, I guarantee that this one is the one that's not magnetic. See? That belongs on the outside. The rest of the ones in here will be magnetic, which belong on the inside. Yeah? See? Belongs on the inside. That's the only thing, and a couple of fingerprints. And obviously, see this here where it's been torn? That's a shame. What I like to do is come in with a knife and cut round it very, very cleanly, and that way when you put it back together, it can be seen, but it's very difficult. Whoever's worked on it have done a really, really clean job, apart from they haven't cleaned the flux off either, and they left one or two fingerprints. Other than that, I wouldn't have thought this had been opened. They've done a cracking job. It's just a shame they didn't fix it. It's a real shame they didn't fix it, because, you know, customers obviously sent it to them to be fixed. The customer probably hasn't paid because they haven't fixed it, but the customer has sold it thinking it can't be fixed, it's irreparable. It's just a shame. You send it to somebody that actually can do repairs, they would have got this back in good working order, and for me to swap that out, to find the fault and swap that out, would have cost you 60 quid. And you'd have had a working switch. Even if you got it working and then sold it, you'd still been quids in. I bought this for £112. He would have paid £12 to eBay, so he got 100 quid. Yeah, a working switch, you're getting 200 plus. I'd have charged him 60 quid, he's 40 quid up. So, plus whoever owned the switch has got all their saved game data. You know, it's probably one of his kids. Might be his, don't know. But he'd have had the saved game data. I mean, I would suggest if it was a child that owned this, it was only ever docked, because it is absolutely fantastic condition. Absolutely fantastic condition. And you know, they haven't said that they've had it in for repair, even though it has, but they didn't say they didn't, they just said they didn't know what was wrong with it. So, you know, I'm happy with what I've bought. I know before the end of this video this is going to be working, put back together and ready to be up for sale in absolutely immaculate condition. I've got some Joy-Cons there. I mod Joy-Cons and I have light up buttons. I will probably put a set with this switch up for sale because the Joy-Cons are like new. They have brand new cases, brand new buttons, brand new battery, and then obviously the conversion mod so it lights up. So, and I also give a 3-month warranty with the Joy-Cons, so they're like brand new. I will also give a 3-month warranty with this switch. I'll get good money back on the switch and the Joy-Cons together. Absolutely fantastic. Yeah, it looks like they've messed around this area as well. Let's have a little look inside there. Let's move this to one side. Put us back to a scope cam and we'll have a little look at the back side of the board together. Yeah, they have reflowed this as well, and they've reflowed this. Whoever has worked on this board basically is just reflowed ICs. They haven't changed them. They've made a bit of a mess flux wise. While I'm here, I'll just check there's no short on this side. I predict no there's not, but I don't know, so we'll see here. No. It's hard because it's full of crap, but no, there's no shorts. It's just that one chip from the front that's at fault, and the whole board needs cleaned. It needs to go on the ultrasonic cleaner to get all this flux off. So I'm lucky that whoever they sent this to didn't actually know what they're doing. The customer that's sold it to me, or the person that sold it to me rather, is unlucky that they sent it to somebody that didn't know what they were doing with Nintendo Switch. I will contact the seller and I will basically say to him that I'm over the moon with the condition of it, and I will also let him know that whoever he sent it to for repair unfortunately didn't really know what they were doing with the switch, so if he ever has a problem in the future he knows not to send it there. Right, we will stick it in a board holder. Excuse my head there. I'll stick it in a board holder. And we will nice and solid in there. So it's this chip we want off. Okay. Oh, let me just turn it around because of the way I use my hands. It's I want the heat going away. Let's get us in this view again. Right, let's we can get use focused in as well. I don't know why it's so dark. I really don't. I'll have to try and do something with that. So obviously the camera's not the best, but these cameras are expensive that go on top of the scope. But Right, let's stop messing around and get this job done. Flux on the outside. Let's turn our heat on. I like to do it at 425 degrees with 100 litres a minute airflow, and normally I would whip this off and the other one straight on, but I'm going to take it off. We'll clean the pads up, we'll put new solder on the pads to get some nice little plumpy pillows, then I'll show you that the short's gone on that cap, and then we will put the new one on and test. I mean, these can be a little bit of a pain to get on actually, you know. See, I'm just getting that out there first. Sometimes I have to flow it once or twice, or even touch it up with a soldering iron. But as long as it's on and the job's done, that's all that really matters. Those aren't going to work. Those are absolutely pants. I do have some new tweezers on order, waiting for them to arrive. I bend tweezers and snap the ends off all the time because I've used them for the wrong things. My own fault. If anybody can tell me where I have this hot air station that I use is the Quick 861 DE. If anybody can tell me where I can get the bent nozzles from, that would help me out loads. Because really you should be applying the heat more direct instead of across the board, but because I do it under the scope, because I struggle to see otherwise, it does take a little longer for it to come off because the heat's not being directed fantastically in the right place. I don't edit my videos. I'm sorry I don't speed this bit up, but this is how long it takes to take this chip off the board. You don't want to go in too early because you'll end up pulling one of the traces off, lifting a pad and taking away some of the trace. Still can be fixed, but you're just creating work for yourself. You're waiting for the solder around here to go shiny. A little nudge every now and again. It's starting to go shiny in places now. Another minute or so, she'll be off the board. And this is the point you don't really want to nudge it, because whilst you've got half the pads that are wet, the solder's wet and ready to lift, and you've got a couple of pads that aren't, it's easy to lift. And if you lift it and one or two of those pads aren't ready, then they're the traces you're going to break. All the bottom ones are ready, these back ones are ready, but this side and this back end isn't. So, what are we getting there? Okay. There she is, she's off. So we have our soldering iron on. I need a bigger tip than the one that's in there. Should have been a little bit more vigilant to what I just changed to there. So change the tip over, apologies. Okay. A little bit more flux on here. I'm not scared of using my flux, by the way. I do tend to use probably a little bit more than I should. I'm sure I'll get people telling me that. But again, you know, we all have our own little way, we all have our own little thing. We do it our own way. Just let me put a bit of extraction on. Hope it's not too noisy. Okay. I just want to run over these pads, get them nice and shiny. Clean the tip off, so there's not much on there. There's enough in this middle pad now just to give it, turn around and spread that out. There's probably a little much on there. I'll try and lift some with a little bit of solder wick. Happy with that. So that can go off. I'll come in with a little cotton bud, clean up some of this burnt flux. Now, if you remember, I turned the board around before I worked on it. So, when we check it now, this is the one that was shortened before, okay? So, we'll get our probes and jump on it again. Live on ground. And we're not shorting. The other side's ground. And this one's not. Now before, we were getting a bleep on both. Okay. So what we'll do is we'll come out. We need a new chip. Let me throw you this side. Need a new chip. I think it's these ones. Or is it them ones? I don't think it's those ones. Let's have a quick little look. M92, yeah. So we want one of these. Okay. Go through quite a lot of these chips. Right. Not like to do here now is get a small amount of solder paste. Okay, it doesn't take much. And if we do this over the scope again, so we can see, there's our new chip. There's my really poor tweezers. Let's move this down a bit here, out of the way of the little locks. Okay. We just want to put a bit of the paste on here. A bit messy. Maybe a little bit too much paste on here, but it's not the end of the world. It's stuck. Right. So we get a bit of tissue and wipe the end of the tweezers and prong. Okay. Put the lid back on the paste. A little bit of flux on top of my paste. Okay. We'll come in with our iron. The iron tip may be a little bit small. The chip, I find this chip does suck out a little bit of heat, to be fair. Yeah, it's sucking out some heat there. We're not getting the effect we wanted here. No, we're not. So, this batch of chips that I've bought have done this to me. Normally I get away with doing it like that. I put a bit of heat on it. Preheat it slightly, come back in with my iron. And it still isn't happy. It's getting on the centre pad, that's not what I want. See, that's not what I want. Come on. Not really what I wanted. I don't normally put any on the central pad. Being lazy really, I should have just thrown a bigger iron on. I wouldn't have had that issue. But hey ho, it's not a problem. Corner. Yeah. I mean, there's a little bit more than I wanted on that central pad, but just have a little clean up off here. I'm going to turn this chip round. I want to see if I still got writing, or do I need to clean it? I need to clean it because I can't see. So we can know where pin 1 is and we can put it the right direction. Pin 1's in this top corner. Now it's in the bottom corner. Yeah. Pin 1's down there. Okay. So let's move us back up here to the board. There's a bit of flux here. We actually want pin 1 down in this bottom corner. That's why we turned it around before we got it on here. Now it's sitting quite high because I've got more solder on the sensor pad on the board than I wanted, and I've got solder on the actual chip on the central pad, so they're sat on top of each other. It's not the end of the world. I just need to hold it with the tweezers and we'll stop it flying away and we'll get this boxed off. So come in with a bit of heat. Burning my gloves there. Oh, let's get that twisted back round. Just let me turn the airflow down, I forgot, sorry. Let's take the airflow down to about 70 until we can get a bit of heat in this and get it to sit and stop dancing around the top. It obviously goes on a lot quicker than it came off because now we have leaded solder on it, which means it melts quicker. So I've pushed it down there. All the solder's bubbled out the sides. Okay. Now, because there's too much solder in there, that's why I've got the big blobs coming out the side. Again, not the end of the world. Go in with a soldering iron and take them out. Put a bit of fume extraction on. I keep forgetting about this until I absolutely choke on the stuff. Okay. To use all hands here. This iron is a little on the large side. Right, I've got rid of the blobs, so what I'll do now is I change my iron for a small one just to tidy it all up. I'll hear my iron beeping in a minute because as I pull that out and change it for the other one. Okay, so we come in with a much smaller iron. Just run across here, make sure put a little bit of solder on this iron actually. too much. Okay. And then this side, which is really one there that I do struggle to get. Right, I'm happy with that, to be fair. I think we will be good with that. So let me take that iron back out, because you know it does. I don't use it for everything. I only use it for the really tiny stuff. That one. Put my lot back in so it shuts up. Put this out the way so I don't burn myself. While it cools. Right, we will come in here and give it a quick clean and see what we're left with. Make sure we have no solder bridges. Like I say, I do feel sorry for the original owner of this that's took it somewhere to be fixed, and they've said it can't be fixed, which is just a shame, because I am certain and very confident that this will now be fixed. Okay. Turn that extraction off. Right, there we are. Let's swap us back to that view there. Let's take it out. There's the chip that's broken. Take it out the board holder. Now, first thing I'll do is I will put this back on. It won't take the right power without that. I'll put a good battery back in. Obviously it's got no screen or anything like that. I just want to check that this chip is in properly. Check that we've actually got charging. I won't be able to put a 15 volt charger in just yet. There you go. 0.43. It drops off to 0 and then it'll come back on at 1 point something, which tells you that it's charging as it should. Okay, swap it round. Same scenario. So let's put it back together. First of all, we'll check that we don't have any shorts, which I don't think we have, but we'll just have another quick check on this. They're all good. Check round BQ. Something missing there. Sure, there's something missing there. sure there's something missing there. Let me get a donor board and have a quick look. I could be wrong, could just be test points that have got solder on. Yes, mate?
Can you please tell Carly to leave me alone because she's just sat there mimicking me with everything I say? No.
I think she is. She came in, she's upstairs.
Okay.
Yeah, just test points. I was wrong. There's nothing there. They're just test points that have got solder on, which obviously wasn't by me. It was by somebody else. Let's have a little look at this chip one last time. It's on the right way. I think I'm going to pass them again on this side and on this side, to be honest. That side's good. That side's good. I think there's one there that's shy, two there that's shy of solder, and that one that I always struggle with. Let me just give that one more pass in there, so I'm happy. Better doing it now than taking it out when it's already been put back together. I mean, after I've put it back together, I've got to take it back apart anyway because I'll have to clean all the solder off that. I won't sell it covered in solder like that. So, not solder, flux. Do you know what would help? Flux. Just spreading that around there a little bit. Okay. One, I think. Okay, turn the board. These ones are fairly tight as well. I mean, looking through the camera, doesn't look too bad. Looks like you've got loads of space. You've not. I'm looking through a microscope. This is very small. The area that you've got to work in is quite small. So send one. The next one in. flux on that side. Okay. I mean, I don't know if it needed that or not. It was charging, but I wasn't happy with one or two of them, so might as well do it at this point, eh? Okay. It's looking a little better. Right, let's get it back in its housing and see if we have it repaired. Wait a second. This might have flux. I mean, yeah, like I say, I've not been making videos very long, but what I have found, every time I make a video, either something goes wrong, which in this case it actually hasn't yet, but what I do find is it takes me longer to do the repair, and also I find it harder to see, because I do an awful lot of my repairs through the microscope. Even when I don't need to, I still use the microscope, and so when I'm not using the microscope, i.e. because I'm trying to get used to see the bigger picture, it just takes me longer because I struggle to see. So we'll get this to a point where, well, what we'll do is we'll just reassemble it, because I don't think there's anything else the matter with it. There might be, but I doubt it. I think that was it. And the video is getting on a bit now. Are we on? Oh, over an hour, crikey. Over an hour to do, half an hour job. Over an hour to do half an hour job. I say half an hour job, to be honest. It's never half an hour job. It's at least 40 minutes, 45 minutes to do this particular job. Like I say, normally it's one off, one straight back on, while the board's still hot and everything else. I don't always clean up the solder and recheck if there's a short, because my experience tells me that if there's a short on that particular pad, it's that. If there's a short on all three, that particular pad, that particular cap, then that's the fault. If there's a short on all three of those caps at the top, then that chip's the fault, more than likely. So, I mean, I haven't checked the rest of the board since I replaced the chip, because I don't believe that anything else is at fault. I might be wrong, might be jumping the gun a little bit, but we will see together. Look at that. They've even put solder on all these pads here. They're test pads, they don't normally have solder on. Put test pads, they put solder on these test pads and that one. And I'm surprised I didn't notice that before, actually. All the test pads have got solder on. Dear me. I wonder what they were testing for. Who knows? Like I say, I might put this back together and it might still not work. There might be another issue, but I just don't think there is. Okay, we've got everything back together somewhat there. Let's put a couple of screws holding the board back in place. Just to help it sit where it should sit. Obviously, not going to do it all because I'm going to take it apart again after we've seen that it's all working and charging. All these test pads here have had solder on. I can't believe I didn't notice that before. Okay, I will put the touch back in as well. The game card. Right, I won't put the fan or anything in. I just want to see if we're got power. Let's put a good battery in because this one is obviously completely and utterly dead. Let's put our good battery in place. Turn it around. First of all, let's try and switch it on. Fingers crossed, it comes on. There we go, we have the Nintendo. Then we have the Switch logo. And then it comes on. Still got touch, still got sound. Let's see if we've got charging. We have charging. Unable to charge. Okay. Right, it says unable to charge and it has an X in it. But it tells me down here that it's charging. It's pulling half an amp. So it's unable to charge that way, but it's charging that way. Now it's unable to charge both ways. Right, okay. Okay. Let's put a genuine charger in. That's charging. So, oh, no, sorry, I pulled that out a little bit. Let's try that again. I hope that wasn't. This is a little bit messed up. Right, we're charging there at 1.02 amps. Yeah. Let's turn it around. We're charging there at 1.20 amps. Yeah. This is loose at this end. I need a new one. Right. Let's put this one in. Genuine one. It's charging. Turn it around. It's charging. That's fixed. Happy days. So I will take it apart and put it all back together. In fact, what I will do, because I have the ability to do this with my new little gadget, we will put it on. Which one is it? Base, overhead, scene 2 is it? Scene 2. We'll put it on the dock, make sure the dock's working. So you'll see some lines until it comes on. In fact, what I'll do is I'll put it on here. When that screen goes black like it has, I will then put it on there. There we go. Yeah, so it's working. It's all working fine. That's all it needed. An M92 chip replacing. Excellent. Cool. Right, it's all working. I'm obviously going to, in fact what we'll do, let me put us back down here. We'll just connect the original battery. Yeah. Let's put in a genuine charger. Let's see if we get a charging sign at this side telling us that it's charging. There we go. Charging sign. If I leave that for a few hours, that'll charge up good as gold. So yeah, what we'll do is I'll put that back together. In fact, I won't put it back together. I'll take it apart. I'll put the board in the ultrasonic bath, clean it all up, stick it on the hot mat, put it in some alcohol, put it on the hot mat, disperse the water, dry it, put it all back together, give it a good clean on this screen because I've got it all covered in stuff off my mat, and that's it. That's done. That's job done. I will put some nice Joy-Cons on it, send it with a charger, and it'll be up for sale with 3 months warranty. So happy with the outcome on that. If you like the video, click the like button. If you want to see any more, subscribe please. It's a new channel, I'm trying to get it off the ground. I'm going to do one a week. Yeah, hopefully it'll take off and people will like what I do. I mean, I'm not trying to teach anybody. If you learn something from it, bonus. If you can give me a comment in the comments and teach me something, bonus. It's just like-minded people want to watch it and see how I do things. Cool. You know, we all do it different, slightly different. We have our own ways of doing things. That's my way of working out what that fault was and fixing it. I was surprised it came on initially. You know, really surprised, to be honest. I would have expected it to just be totally dead. But, you know, it did have a fault. We've rectified it. And I do feel a little bit guilty. It's a shame that the guy that originally owned it, even if he would have known that it would have charged off, say, an iPhone plug, yeah, with a USB to USB-C wire, he could have carried on using it because it would have worked. It was charging off 5 volts, so it just wouldn't fast charge. And in fact, I think it was fast charging, wasn't it? But he would never have been able to dock it because you need the 15 volts to dock it. And like I said to you at the beginning, I think this has been docked pretty much permanent because it is immaculate. And you can see at the back where it's been going in and out of a dock. You can't see it on the screen, but you can see it at the back, so I think it's been in a dock, quite permanent. So, but yeah, that's that one fixed. Sorry I've rabbited on at the end and made the video like an hour and a quarter, but you can see how we diagnosed that issue and repaired it. Thanks for watching. Hopefully I will see you again and somebody clicks the like button and somebody clicks the subscribe button, and we'll try and get a little channel built. Cool. See you again.